So today we are looking at the Firefly FFLGS, and I think I'm getting that right, which is a very nice looking guitar and very obviously just a complete ripoff of the Gibson SG, except that it has this cool flamey color, which I don't think they actually make right now in the current batch. These guitars run in batches and they kind of do seemingly whatever they want over at Firefly in China. So you kind of have to just get lucky that they're going to have the one in that you want, but we're kind of getting ahead of ourselves because we got to talk about a little bit whether you should or should not get this guitar in the first place. And that's kind of an issue that each person is going to have to come to on their own, because I mean, there's pluses and minuses to this, and if we start to get into that, the number one minus is going to be the fact that you're getting a guitar from China. From what I've heard, the customer service is horrible. You're dealing with basically a company that is private, that is kind of connected to the government. So when you give money to these companies, you're kind of funding China itself, which some people don't feel that great about. So not the best. But if you're willing to overlook that stuff, or if you're like me and you can find some guy who is just selling this on eBay, trying to flip and make a profit off of dummies like me, then you can get a cool guitar, and it's going to cost you a very small amount of money, which is crazy. The craziest thing about this guitar is the price, and that is going to be, I mean, this thing retails for like $189 online. It's going to cost you money to get it shipped, but still, I mean, this thing could be $500, and the quality on it, if you just look at it, I mean, that is pretty ridiculous. This is not a veneer. This is obviously actual mahogany and maple top. I mean, that's insane. And there's no getting around that. Why did I get this guitar? I am a huge simp for sunburst guitars, especially Les Pauls, but I absolutely hate the way Les Pauls feel, and it took me years to figure that out. I used to play them all the time and drag them around in bands and stuff, and pretty much always it feels like they are falling off your lap, or if you have it kind of positioned between your legs, then it is crushing your dick, which feels bad. I don't like that. We've talked a little bit about the quality, which is good, of just the general look, but as far as the playability and of the neck and the frets and everything actually functional on this guitar, that could be a totally different thing. But luckily in this case, it actually is not. We have, a good guitar here by pretty much objective standards. I mean, if you think that you are going to pay $200 and you're going to get a Gibson quality, American made quality guitar, you are fooling yourself. But these are excellent project guitars. So pretty much what you got here is a guitar with kind of okay pickups. They're decent for what it is, and they're passable, but you're probably going to want to replace them at some point. The tuners are okay, but again, I would replace them with some Grovers at some point or something like that, because they do come out of tune a little bit. But in honesty, it is better than any Squier I've had, and better than a lot of Epiphones I've had in my brief experience with this guitar so far. So it's pretty crazy. And I mean, I do like that there are deals like this out there, but it is kind of scary also that, it's like they say, it doesn't matter how good a guitar you are, there's going to be some kid in Korea who can outplay you. It's the same thing with luthiering. Like, this guitar is going to be way better than anything I can make right now. and I have made a few guitars, and I think that would be cool to show you because it's very interesting. This thing right here, look at it, looks good. Now we move over to my guitar that I made. I mean, it's okay, but kind of a piece of shit. Like, you look at the bridge that I kind of just took off a Strat. You look at this thing here. I kind of made this weird pointy headstock because I didn't really do it right the first time. So I just sawed off the other chunk that I took out of it with a router. And that's the kind of thing that happens to you when you make guitars. And this thing probably cost $300 to make. Here, my other attempt at an SG. And I painted on the binding because binding is really fucking hard to do. And I tried it and I fucked it up. So all these things, I mean, this guitar probably cost me $400. So it's just really crazy. I mean, I know I'm sort of a new luthier, but you have to have a lot of dedicated equipment and then a lot of people and a lot of people that know how to use tools well. If you look at this binding, it's totally flawless. I mean, it's like the poly is very well, very evenly applied, and they must have done, a lot of work on it to get it in this shape. And they probably paid a lot of people not that much money to do this. So if that's something you have a problem with, then maybe buy a Gibson or a Fender and skip this. But, human rights is not going to be our thing today, so we're going to talk about something else. So, yeah, let's get into a little bit about playing, and I guess I'll just show you some clean tones, and then we'll start to, get a little more modulated. And I don't want to get too heavy with the distortion today, just because that doesn't really tell you anything, and that's not really going to be what these pickups are for. I do like this guitar a lot, and I think it has the potential to be one of my favorite guitars, but right now it's not quite there. It is definitely in better shape than my Harley Benton was when I bought that, and that thing, the pickups are horrible and were totally unacceptable. This thing, the pickups are okay, but they could use some improvement. I'm a vain man, and I like my things to look cool, and this guitar definitely looks cool. So I don't know. I can do an update at some point, and we'll see kind of what happens to it. And let me know what you think about it. Let me know what you think about Firefly, because a lot of people have very strong opinions on this stuff. So that's it for this one. And I spend most of my time on music, but I'm going to start putting these things out because I need to make gear and I need to be writing. So you guys can always check out my blog, which is thisismetalblog.com. Thank you.